So I can't hear the song. So bring it.
Welcome back.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen.
All you shit's whack.
Oh yeah, we're glad to be back with you with some exciting news.
Super exciting.
This is a brand new episode. Oh! What's going on, man? You just got back from vacation?
I just got back from vacation and it was much needed.
Dude, so you've been working like 9 to 9, or you've been working like 24/7 or what?
Yeah, I've just been working every single day, Monday through Friday.
You finally needed a vacation?
You know, and just my
Where'd you-
wife
where
has been begging me to freaking take her somewhere. She's like, "It's the end of summer, please take me." So I was like, you know what? Let's do it.
Cheapflights.com.
Yeah, so we booked our flights and booked through AAA. Got a really sweet deal to go to Cancun, Mexico, despite the travel warnings. They're like, you shouldn't travel here.
What was
like,
it? What was the travel warning?
It just said, you know, if you're white, you shouldn't go
Trespassers may be
anywhere.
shot.
No. There's been like kidnappings and shit.
You might not get your passport back.
You might not come back.
Yeah, you could die.
You might not come
Yeah,
back.
it's not like the old days, dude, where you didn't even need a passport to go over
But
there.
dude, that's everywhere, man. We were planning a trip to go to the Philippines, and they were like, "Yeah, there's ISIS here."
Yeah.
You know, so
Yeah,
we canceled that. And then, you know, everyone at work was like, "Dude, you know, there's a travel warning to Mexico.
Yeah,
like,
we're
they're
snowing over
kidnapping
here."
people." I'm like,
Yeah.
well, they've been kidnapping people.
We've got black
forever.
ice over here. We're snowing over here. You might not want to come. We got quicksand. It's some
Yeah.
regions. We got quicksand, guys.
Where's quicksand been on? But
no,
no, man,
Australia.
it was freaking awesome. So we went to Cancun for 5 days. Went to an all-inclusive, which means all your drinks and everything else, all your food and
Massages?
everything. It was great. Every time I go on vacation, my wife and I like to tell everybody it's our honeymoon.
Why?
Because it's awesome. You get upgrades.
Oh,
well,
yeah.
the first time we went on our real honeymoon, the people at the airport at JetBlue were like super cool. They're like, "Oh, we'll get you guys good seats." You know, there was some we were sitting together,
Yeah.
and they got us to sit together and like some other cool stuff. I think they upgraded us to like business class.
Yeah.
You know, you get a little more leg room.
Yeah. JetBlue?
You know, your shit can breathe. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, JetBlue's dope. Have you seen the inside of the one in Long Beach?
No.
It looks like a Chipotle in there. It's all modern and shit.
Yeah, dude.
It's
I haven't
rad.
been to I haven't flown recently. I'm gonna be flying in about 2 weeks. I'm going to Texas.
There
but-
you go.
Yeah, I'm excited too. But so tell me, like, what is it like now, dude, on the flight with JetBlue? Because I remember using JetBlue and it was kind of ghetto, like back in the day.
No, it was really nice, man. I think we flew American Airlines. It was rad because it was a newer airplane, so it had a nice touchscreen TV in front of
nice.
you, which
Yeah.
was dope. And then it had like all like new movies were out in the movies. It was
Free
really
Willy
cool.
too.
And yeah, it keeps you busy when you're flying for 5-6 hours. You
Yeah,
know,
is that how long the flight was? No stops.
No, we had a layover.
Okay.
But it was like 30 minutes.
Yeah, Captain
So
fell
we
asleep.
flew I think we flew to Miami and then to Cancun.
You slept right through Miami or what?
Dude,
This
as soon
is
as
a
we got off
flyover.
the,
This
as
is a
soon as we got
flyover.
off the plane, dude,
Yeah.
we were kind of booking it to the next, like through security. You know, it takes forever to go through. Thank God we didn't bring a ton of stuff, and then you know, and then they were just like, "Yeah, you're now boarding." So it's like, dude, we stayed for like maybe 20 minutes after security and everything. You know, I had like enough time to get a Starbucks, and then we were on our next plane.
Dude, it was like Home Alone 2, dude. You were like barely getting on the plane.
Yeah, dude, we were
There's my
rushing.
dad over
We were
there.
rushing. And then we got to Cancun, and you know, when you're going to Mexico, you're just like, dude, it's gonna
Yeah.
be sunny,
Yeah.
it's gonna be hot, and dude, we got there, freaking pouring rain,
Oh, really?
just coming
Yeah.
down. We're
I
like,
forgot to check the
"Fuck!"
weather report, huh? Dallas
No,
rains?
well, we were kind of getting some of, you know, there's been a pretty big hurricane in Texas, and there was one in like Miami, Florida, Irma, and they were getting a little bit of that. So the cool thing is, it was really humid, like really hot. It was like
Yeah.
90, and you know,
sounds
as
like
soon
my
as the rain
apartment.
hits you, it feels like it's drying off. But it was
Yeah.
freaking coming down, dude. Like the guy that was taking us, we got like a little guy to take us like a shuttle from the airport to our hotel.
Yeah.
And dude, it was like he was driving through huge puddles, just like
Yeah.
doosh. I was like,
Like
this
Dennis
sucks.
from Jurassic Park. He's
Dude,
like, come
yeah,
to get you there.
straight up. And we're like, dude, this sucks. And then we got to our hotel, and I told my wife before the trip, I was like, we have to have a backstory.
Yeah.
She's like, well, what do you mean? I was like, we got to tell them it's our honeymoon. And she's like, all right, that's good. I was like, no, it's not good enough. We have to have our location, have to have a date. We have to tell them it was last weekend, which is say it's the same place that we got married at. And so they're like, soon as we got to our place, he was like, oh, why are you guys here? It's just vacation. I was like, oh, that's our honeymoon, dude. And
Yeah.
he's just like, oh, really? And then they go above and beyond.
Yeah, they feel all special. They're a part of it now.
Yeah, so they freaking... Dude, if you can ever say that to anybody, like if you're going on a trip, say it's your honeymoon, act all giddy.
Yeah.
Because they want, like, good reviews. And so we got to our hotel room, and he upgraded us to an ocean view. Dude, it was so sick. You just open it up, in the morning, you could see as far as you could see, just ocean, blue
shark attack
ocean.
right in front of you.
Yeah, just sharks in the water. And it was so sick. And then, it's like open bar. So it's like, we're like, oh, it's raining. Let's go get some drinks. You
you just walk downstairs.
Yeah. And then, but the cool thing, like we checked into our room, they had like this sash going across the thing that said honeymoon. We're like, and then there's like rose petals and all this shit when you walk in. They had like the swans, the swans made out of towels.
Nice.
That was pretty cool. And then just, fully stocked fridge.
Yeah, they wanted to make that honeymoon special.
They wanted to make it nice. Yeah, absolutely. He's just like, oh, give me a good thing on TripAdvisor. They always just want you to drop their name, Yeah, ask for Juan, at the front desk.
Yeah.
But that was really cool. So it was just really nice to get away.
Who
Who won? We did.
Won and
we got the good deal. But it was great, dude. It was pretty nice because it's all inclusive, so it's all your food, all your drinks. It was right on the beach front, so you literally could walk out from the hotel, from the pool or whatever, straight into the water, and you can go waist deep, and you can see your feet.
Yeah, that's tight.
And then there's like a little fish, little Finding Nemo, just getting stuck in between your leg hairs.
Yeah, dude.
That's cool, dude.
You reel him out and make some dinner.
Yeah, just
that sounds fun, man. So, like, was it actually like your real honeymoon, where you actually had a bunch of like events planned? You guys went like kayaking, or you guys went scuba diving? Or...
No, this was a real chill trip. We were only there for 5 days. On my actual honeymoon, we went to Dominican Republic. We were there for 10 days.
Yeah.
So that was cool because it was like chill one day, the next day do an excursion. Chill one day, next day do an excursion. Mm-hmm. We pretty much just chilled on the resort. We didn't really leave the resort. It was mainly just chilling there. And then one of the days we did an excursion. We went to this thing called X-Carret. Picture like a lazy river in the jungle.
Mm-hmm. Sounds like my toilet.
Yeah. So it was this you wear like a life jacket, some fins or water shoes.
Yeah.
And then you just jump in, and there's this huge, pretty deep lazy river that goes. It's all man-made.
Yeah.
There's just vines all over the place.
Yeah.
Freaking monkeys swinging by.
Yeah, I figured.
People like dressed up like
little Mexican kids.
Yeah, just dirty diapers floating in the
dead batteries on the side.
Yeah, dude, freaking. But it was cool. The only thing of it was I was just extremely hungover.
So that was the first day, or that was
that was like the third day. That was like the third day.
You got super hungover from all the bottomless,
just from all the boozing. But I'll back up a little bit. So we're there for 2 days, and then we have the concierge people in the front like book your trips and stuff. And we had this guy, and he's just like, hey, you want to go to a presentation? It's a nice breakfast at another hotel. We'll pick you up. You don't have to pay for anything, And then when you get there, they're going to show you the property. And then, if you feel like you want to invest in it, then you can, or you can tell them no. And you'll get, for going 2 hours of your time, you'll get $150 off your excursion the next day.
Yeah.
So that was the following day we were going to go to X-Carret.
Yeah, no strings attached, right?
No strings attached. Yeah, so they say. And he goes, it's not like a timeshare or anything, but it totally was. So we get there, they pick us up from our hotel, they take us to their hotel, which is super beautiful. Like, I would totally stay here. It's all adults only, so there's no little kids running around like, they're all just like, it's quiet. But it was a party environment, though, too. They had a freaking DJ,
Nice.
All kinds of cool stuff going on. So they showed us, like, some pimped out room with, like, it was, like, brand new, like, they had like a huge king-size bed, and then they pushed like a little button, and a flat screen TV goes out of the bed. I was like, "Oh shit!"
Dude, a flat screen TV can come out of anything and you'll be impressed.
Yeah.
Like, everyone's impressed. Like,
check it
flat
out.
screen TV comes out of your car, like on the side, or like, your flat screen comes out of your Bible, or whatever.
There's a flat screen coming out of a donut.
Dude, everyone's impressed by a flat screen.
Yeah.
A TV just plugged in somewhere. Like, there was a TV right there, man.
Yeah.
Oh, it's got a TV, man.
Straight up. So they kind of toured us around. Checked out the pool. They like stopped at the bar. We got a drink. They're trying to booze us up, get us all in a good mood. And then it's a beautiful day outside. And then they take us back. Oh, by the way, we had breakfast before that. And they're like, oh, you have a really nice, beautiful breakfast. And so my wife and I got there, and then we were starting to it was like a buffet style, so you kind of feed yourself and go pick out what you want.
Yeah.
And then I didn't know the freaking sales guy was going to sit with us during breakfast.
Oh, yeah. That's
I was like, dude, this is annoying, dude. And he's just like, oh, yeah.
He worked at the hotel?
Where are you from? He was the guy that was presenting the whole thing to us. So he sat at the table to kind of get to know us.
Okay. While you're eating?
Yeah. Interviewing us, essentially. Just probably trying to find out if we have money or whatever.
Yeah.
And to knock out any objections that we could throw at him at the end. Totally becoming your friend.
Yeah.
And my wife and I are in sales.
It was the same guy that offered you
coming a mile away.
The coupon? It was the same guy that offered you the coupon?
No, it was...
You just met him right there.
Yeah, he was like one of the presenters there. So we go through the whole thing, and then we get to the end, and then I'm like, all right, here comes the sales pitch, And then they're like, oh, look, for only $16,000, you can get da-da-da. I was like, whoa, I don't think so, man. We're not buying today. And
what was it for 16 grand? What do you get?
it was like essentially a timeshare for hotels. So you can pay this monthly fee or whatever, and then you can go anywhere in the world that they have a hotel at.
Okay.
And it makes sense.
Annually,
but
16 grand?
No, it was like 16,000 down, and then it's for like 10 years or something.
Okay.
It was for like a long deal. And so I'm just like, yeah, dude, I don't think we're going to do this. Because I had the backstory. I was like, yeah, we just got married. We just spent our whole nut. We just spent all of our money. We don't have this much money to put down. And he's like, oh, okay. And then he brings in another lady. And she's like the smooth talking Hispanic lady, like elderly, just like, hola, how's your day going? It's a good trip, it's a honeymoon.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah. And she's like, so what did you think? I was like, yeah, the property is beautiful, but we're not buying today. And she's like, oh, well, what if I can get the price down? I was like, that's not the point. Yeah, we're just not going to buy today. And she's like, okay. And then kept going and going and going. And I'm looking out of the corner of my eye, and it's beautiful sun, but then I could see at the beach, right? But I could see these clouds coming in. I'm like, fuck, we're just ruining our day right now. I could be at the pool.
Yeah.
So I'm like leaning back in my chair, just giving all the signs I'm getting tired. I'm just like, ugh,
Yeah.
And
just lost my credit card.
And yeah, dude, I'm just like, let's just wrap this shit up.
Yeah.
Let's just, what's the bottom line here, man? And she's like, okay, oh yeah. He was like, because the guy and the girl were sitting together. Okay. Facing my wife.
They were trying to close you guys.
Yeah, they're trying to hard close us. And she was like, oh yeah. He looks at her and he goes, they're both in sales. And she's like, oh, okay. So we could see past the bullshit, and we're just like, we just want our freaking coupon and get the hell out of here. And then it's like starting to rain outside. I'm like, God damn it.
Yeah.
Like, this is ruining my day.
Yeah.
And I was like, I just want another drink. I want to be back at my freaking hotel, like, just be doing something else.
Just give me that coupon.
And then they're like, okay, no worries. Well, we appreciate your time today. We'll get you that coupon, and we're just going to send over, quote-unquote, quality control. And it's this other smooth-talking Hispanic guy. He's like, oh, he sounds like the most interesting man. Hola, hey, how's the trip going? Oh, nice. Oh. So, why did you guys not buy today? What was the reason? I'm like, yo, man, I just told these two people that we're not buying. We just got married. Like, let's just wrap this shit up, bro. Like, where's our coupon? Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, no problem. Okay. And, dude, that went on for like another 20 minutes.
Yeah, dude. You just had the beads of sweat
on his forehead. Get me in my hotel. I'm sorry. Your presentation was nice. The hotel was cool. I'm not spending 12, 16 grand a day, like, on a hotel timeshare.
Yeah.
Like, we'll travel when we want. Maybe it's a good deal in like, the long run, but I'm not trying to drop 12 grand. I spent $1,500 on this trip.
Yeah,
for a freaking week. Yeah, dude, we got a killer deal on cheapcaribbean.com. If they want to sponsor us, that's fine. But dude, $1,500 for 5 days, for flights included. There was layovers, only one, and like all inclusive.
Yeah, for
that's
both
a
of you
good
guys?
deal.
Yeah,
it's only like $750 each.
Okay,
that's good, dude.
Yeah, it is.
So, we ended up getting out of there, going back to our hotel, and just started turning up, dude. Just started hitting the bar hard. And then the next morning, we had to get up at like 6 o'clock for this excursion, right? So I probably went to bed at like 1, and then I just woke up feeling so hungover. So I was taking charcoal pills because I was kind of like clean out all the toxins inside your stomach and get them out.
Yeah, what is a charcoal pill?
A charcoal pill, I'll show you later, but it's basically to get like it prevents hangovers and it will help you with your hangover. And it's just charcoal.
Piece of charcoal?
It's activated black charcoal or gray charcoal in a pill.
Wow.
And I took 2 of those. And then I hadn't eaten anything or anything. We were just kind of getting ready for the excursion, putting on our swimsuit and everything. And then I was just like, babe, I'm going to throw up. She's like, go to the shower. So I go to the shower, and it's this huge open shower, like rain thing coming from the top.
Yeah, I forget. Rainforest Cafe.
So sick. I love those showers. Yeah. I'm super tall, so those are kind of nice. And
gorillas in the mist.
And then so I just started like, I was like, babe, I can't throw up. She's like, stick your fingers down your throat. And I was like, all right.
Nice.
And I just like, then I had the charcoal in my stomach, right? And just all alcohol.
Yeah.
And so I'm just throwing up gray from the charcoal. Just, and I was just, it looked so disgusting in the shower.
Dang.
That was pretty brutal. And then we had to wrap it up and we went to our excursion that day. And then I was just feeling so hungover. And then you're in the water in this excursion. So I actually felt pretty good because the water was kind of cool, but it wasn't too hot or anything. It felt good. It was refreshing.
Yeah.
And then I got to the end of the excursion, which took us like 2 hours, it felt like. But it was super dope. Like I wish I kind of took my GoPro. We took an underwater camera. We gotta get the pictures that I developed or whatever. We just bought one of those cheap little clicker ones.
Yeah.
So we'll see how those came out. But we were just there for the experience. But it was supposed to be like an all-day deal. It was supposed to be like an 8-hour thing.
Uh-huh.
But so we got out after that, had some lunch that came with the thing, a beer that came with the thing, and then after I was like, yeah, let's get the hell out of here. We have like 5 more hours until the van comes and picks everybody up and takes each person back to their hotel. I was just like, let's just get a taxi straight back. It's like $20, whatever.
Yeah.
So we did that, and then I think we went back to the hotel, and I was out for that whole night. I just went pretty much to bed. And I kind of felt sorry for my wife, but sorry. We just watched TV in our.
That happens, dude.
It was nice though, dude, because it wasn't nice the way I was feeling, but it was nice to just chill in the super air conditioned room.
Yeah.
Watch some TV. There was like 3 channels that were in English.
Yeah.
And we were just like watching some movies and just chilling, and that was kind of nice. Not have to do anything, you know. And then the next day, you know, we had another full day of just chilling at the beach, just doing whatever we wanted, and then the next day we bounced. So, dude, I have to tell you this story. So, I saw so many interesting people in the airport. Yeah. First, we get in there, and there was this Indian man, and he had so much hair on his head.
Oh, nice.
But he had so much hair coming out of his ears. Yeah. Like, he had a whole head of hair in his ears.
Like Alf?
Like, I've never, ever seen that before. Yeah. It was freaking disgusting.
Planet of the Apes?
I was like, do you get a haircut and an ear cut? Like, what's going on?
A little flat top coming out of his ear?
Yeah. And I'm just, like, hungover at the airport, and then...
Chewbacca?
We get seated, on the way back. So we had a flight to... It was supposed to be to Miami, and then that Miami storm, they were flying all the airplanes out of there, so we got rerouted to North Carolina. And then we had a little layover in North Carolina, and then our flight was going to be delayed a little bit, and then it was going back to Los Angeles. So the flight from Cancun to North Carolina was about 2 hours. Yeah. There was this little boy that was sitting behind us, and his family was from Italy. Nice. And he couldn't have been more than like 3 or 4 years old. But I didn't have my headphones in. I was just kind of relaxing, closing my eyes, and he was just talking aggressively loud. He's like,
Mario Brother.
I was like, shove a meatball in that kid's mouth. Like, be quiet. Like, he was just talking so loud, but I couldn't understand what he was saying. I was like, dude, shut little squeaky Mario back up there, dude. It's like, come on. Then we had our layover, and then we jumped into another plane, which didn't have any TVs, which was sucking. They're like, you have to like log into your phone, and then you could stream their like movies through your phone. I was like, whatever.
Yeah.
And then we got seated in the very, very back of the plane.
All the airlines try to sell you on like Wi-Fi now.
Yeah, it's
like,
crazy.
Costs money.
So this one wasn't. They're free. You just have to log in through their site or whatever.
Yeah.
And then my phone died. So my wife and I were watching a movie with split headphones on the way back. It was like a 5-hour flight.
Nice.
And we were just splitting our headphones. It was cool. And then we got seated in the very back of the plane, the back of the bus. And I didn't realize until about 30 minutes into the flight that my seat doesn't recline because I'm all the way back.
Yeah.
It's all the way back against that wall. And I'm like, this is going to be a 5-hour flight. This is going to suck if I have to sit straight up after that.
Yeah,
like,
long. Your back's going to hurt.
Yeah, my back's going to hurt. So we're into the flight, and I noticed the row in front of us, there was one lady on the aisle, this big chick, and then there was 2 empty
Big
seats
mama.
right in front of us.
Yeah.
And I was like, I asked the stewardess, I was like, excuse me, ma'am, would it be cool if we went up a seat? And then she was like, yeah. I was like, because we want to be able to recline. I want to sleep.
Yeah.
And she's like, that's totally fine. So I noticed there's this lady that's sitting there. She's got all her shit spread out, dude. She's got peanuts right here, magazines.
Skittles.
Yeah, dude. She's got like her phone charger in one little pocket, and she's got her iPad, and she's watching Game of Thrones, and she's like all comfortable.
Yeah,
she's got one of her knees on the other seat, just kind of like
big old buckled fat knees.
Just big old like fat hanging all over the place. So I was like, excuse me, ma'am. And I kind of like tapped her, and she's like, huh? Looked back. I was like, wow. Yeah. She's like, what do you want? And I was like, we're actually gonna move up one. And she was like, what? Yeah. And I was like, yeah, we're gonna move up one. The stewardess just said it was cool. She had her headphones on. She didn't hear.
Yeah.
We're gonna move up. So she's like, why? Real aggressive. I was like, whoa, tone that back. She was like, I was like, because we can't recline these seats. And we want to be able to like relax. I'm 6'4". I want to be able to spread my legs and my back. And then she's like, fine. And she started to clean up all her stuff, getting it all on her side.
Wow.
And she was angry, dude. She was. Yeah. I would have been angry too if I thought I had this whole row open, and then all of a sudden stupid people were like, hey, we're gonna take those. She's
got all her snacks laid out.
All her snacks, all her peanuts. She's cleaned up all her chips.
Yeah.
And
she's got her leg up on the seat next to her.
And I'm super polite. I'm like, I'm sorry. She's like, no, you're not.
Oh, okay.
I was like, wow, okay, good, all right.
Yeah.
And then like I
noticed. Got her a chocolate milk, and she'd have been happy.
I know, dude. I should have gave her some chips or something. Give her a gravy shake.
Just feed it to her.
And like, she had her headphones on, and I noticed she was watching Game of Thrones. I was like, oh, Game of Thrones. What season are you on? And then she didn't even answer.
She just leans over.
She's like, I was like, all right, whatever, bitch. So
yeah.
That was pretty cool. Once we, were comfortable, we just kind of watched the movie the rest of the plane ride. And then we got back to LAX, and you picked us up from the airport.
I'm a veteran now at picking up people at the LAX airport. Like, I get there, dude, and everyone's, like, so stressed out. Like, there's buses, full-on buses, and, like, the little shuttles and stuff that go to each one.
Yeah.
And everyone's just all stressed out, like trying to get into like the little pockets, and just because I have done it so many times, I kind of know like what lane to cruise in, what lane like the bus driver is gonna get mad, if you're over there. And
it's
like,
a madhouse.
Yeah, dude, it's crazy. But I'm used to it, so it's like I know like where you can wait, where you can't wait, and then but what's a pain in the ass is if you know what time you're picking up somebody and you show up. They're not out there, and those guys don't want you waiting at the curb. They're like, "Hey, move it!" And you got like moving. 200 like taxi drivers right behind you, and they're all, like honking like, "Come on, I got to get to the guy." And Hulu drivers like, "Come on, bro!" They're all trying to make their buck, and I'm just
because if you get off at your plane at 7. It takes like 20 minutes to get out.
Yeah,
and then you gotta get your luggage.
Dude, I'm not gonna pick up anybody early anymore.
Yeah.
Like, from now on, it's just like you get out at 7. All right, I'll pick you up at 8. I'll be there at 8 o'clock.
I'll be there at 8.
Your time. Yeah, because by the time the luggage comes out, and then they walk out to the curb, and then you've already gotten like 10 different texts on that you're at this terminal and you're gonna be at that terminal. I'll be like, what? Forget all that. I'm just gonna wait until you're at some terminal that you know where you're gonna be, and you're standing there and you've been waiting for 20 minutes, and then I'll show up. It
was like $60 for an Uber from my house to LAX, so I was like,
yeah, because
then you were like,
we couldn't
right
drive you
area.
out there. We couldn't drive you out there because of our nephew's birthday.
Yeah,
but so you paid $60 to the Uber driver,
$60.
and then So you saved a little bit of coin by me picking you up.
Yeah, I gave you some gas money.
I think you accidentally gave me a little more than you were supposed to.
Oh, really?
I think you gave me like 35, and you meant to give me 20.
No, that's all right.
Well, thanks, man.
No worries.
Dude, it did go to gas, and I was like, I think on fumes at that point.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was fun. So you overall had a great trip and everything like that.
Oh, it was definitely great. You got back, and then we had the weekend to just chill. So it was perfect.
You came back on a Sunday though, right? And then everyone had the next day off.
Thursday, like late night.
It was a Thursday? Oh, that's right. And then you took Friday off, Saturday, Sunday.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, so I still had like another 3 days. Because you know when you get back from vacation, you're just wiped out.
Yeah.
Like, especially all the travel time, because you're up early, you got to check out. And then, you have your flight. It just kind of takes a lot out of you.
Yeah.
You're just rushing from part to part. And then you get back and you're just like,
yeah, you're just ready to freaking jump on the couch and throw on some Netflix at that point.
Exactly what we did.
When I knew you were coming over today, I was gone like almost this entire weekend. I knew you were coming today, and I got home like a half hour before you got here. And I was like, okay, my whole house is a mess. What am I going to clean up, before my brother gets here? And I just lay out down on my back on the bed. And I was thinking like, oh my gosh, I don't even freaking have the energy to clean up, before you came over. But I was like, the one thing that was just extremely disgusting was the bathroom. And so like my bathroom, dude, I got like the toilet bowl cleaner out, like did that real quick, like put up like a clean towel and everything like that. Just got like all these like clothes and stuff like that off the freaking out of the bathroom. I was like, dude, if anything's gonna be clean, it's gotta be my bathroom. Like my kitchen can kiss my butt, dude. Like there's so many freaking dishes here, and I'm actually kind of getting lazy because sometimes Isabel comes over to do, and she'll just go like right to the dishes and she'll do them. And as a matter of fact, dude, like last week. She came over and I was like telling her, okay, I'm going to be working on my computer. I'm going to be like editing some of the podcast stuff. And so right when I moved out, I went and bought all like those cleaning supplies and everything like that. And amongst the things that I bought a 3-pack of like these blue sponges. And in order to not use one sponge for something that wasn't to be used for, I would write like a letter on the actual sponge. So I would write like T on one sponge. That means toilet. Because I don't want to clean dishes with that sponge. And then I'll
you just keep it in your bathroom cupboard?
Well, some of them they're just under the sink. So then like one says A for like appliances. So I'll clean off the stove with it or clean the side of like the microwave or whatever. And the one is designated to dishes and that just has a D on it.
Yeah.
So all my sponges, dude, are like marked by like what you should wash them with. And sometimes when there's like ton of dishes in the sink like there are right now, like that sponge will just be where it was left. Oh, you don't
have a dishwasher.
No, I don't have a dishwasher. I still have to do them all by hand.
Oh, that sucks.
So there's the sponge, the dishes sponge sometimes ends up at the very bottom of the sink just because that's where I last left it when I was done doing dishes. And then I'll put like a bowl in there and then all of a sudden it's a pan. That thing just gets buried. And I've never really, I realized, I never really told Isabel like what sponge to use or what the letters meant. The right sponge was just always right there on top of the sink. But last week, dude, she came over and she does all the dishes. And so after I'm done like editing and everything like that, she's like working on like the laptop in the bedroom or something like that. And she's working on something else. I was like, oh, cool, she did all the dishes. So like literally that night passes and I haven't like gone to look at the dishes. They're just out drying.
You had a pubic hair on them.
And what?
Yeah, she did it with the bathroom one.
Dude, I
you have a pubicle in your cups?
I came back. So like I the next day goes, she's gone at this point, and I see like that all the dishes have been done, and then like she leaves the sponge that she used like right there next to the sink where she did all the dishes, and it says it's the sponge with the T on it, dude. And I know, and the one with the D was like right there like at the bottom of the sink.
You gave her the D.
Yeah, dude. And so I was like, oh, dude, she washed my dishes with the freaking toilet sponge.
That's disgusting.
So I had all the dishes that she did. I had to put them all back in the sink, dude. Get like the hottest water, throw some like soap down in there for it, and just wash them, dude, from scratch. And then I told her about it too. She felt so bad. She's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I was like, yeah, all that work for nothing, man. But yeah, I gotta leave them in there. I gotta leave one in the bathroom. Leave one like freaking out here. Yeah, I need to get new sponges. I'm kind of at that point where I need to get new like white towels because I brought white towels from home and like they're already, since I'm using like the same ones over and over and over again, like they look like gray now, dude. Like they lose their
I like those little metal kind of like sponges. Have you seen those? Those are great for dishes.
It's like a wiry.
It's kind of wiry, yeah.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah,
like a
I know
Brillo
what you're talking
pad,
about.
but it's like they're kind of like a spongy metal, or I don't know. Yeah, those things are awesome for like pans, scrubbing them. But I don't do dishes. I have my maid do them.
Dude, I wish I know. I wish I didn't
just
always
throw
have
them in
to
the
do
dishwasher,
dishes.
dude. Even shit that shouldn't be getting in there.
Yeah, well, dude, it doesn't
pack
always get
that
everything
thing.
off, even in a dishwasher. Sometimes you got to get down and like just. And
Scrub.
sometimes like I get lazy, dude, and I'll leave a pan out right there on the freaking stove for like 3 weeks. You know?
3 weeks?
Not really that long. Maybe like 3 or 4 or 5 days.
Yeah.
You know, just during the work week.
Yeah.
And if I made anything with like a fried dough, you know, it's gonna be like just crusted onto the side, and then it's gonna take like, you know, we're gonna have to get like a freaking jackhammer to like get that stuff off the side, you know,
Yeah.
or like soak it and then like chisel at it and like whatever, like some fried dough, dude, is on there. It just sticks.
Cooking a
on
lot
there.
of fried dough.
Dude, I have been, man. I've been homemaking like funnel cakes. I've been making like pizzas. Dude, I homemade fries the other day because I got a 5-pound bag of potatoes from Ralph's for it was 10 pounds for $5.
Oh, that's good.
So it's actually really easy, dude. Like and it was something that she showed me as well. I was like, okay, like I've never made fries before in my life, and I didn't realize like it's actually a joke. It's so easy. Yeah. Just peel that thing, you know, cut it down,
slice them up, throw them in the fryer.
Yeah, dude, and literally it's just having enough vegetable oil in there, like a half an inch or whatever, to cover it.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing with funnel cakes, except you use like pancake mix, you know, and it cooks super fast. So you kind of have to like have it on
super hot too.
Yeah, you have to have it on like a low. No, you put it on a low burn, because if you put it on super hot, then it will just like cook as soon as it hits the grease, and it'll basically just turn into a blob. So it doesn't give it the time to kind of like separate and like turn into, you know, like if you're doing a funnel cake, you want it to look all wiry and like kind of like mixed up, you know, like a really.
How did you make it look like that?
You just kind of pour it in like that, you know, and you pour it in like kind of weird zigzag patterns all over the place.
Oh, cool.
And then after that, dude, you just throw down that confectionate sugar and throw down some.
Reminds me of those days going to Knott's Berry Farm getting those freaking funnel cakes.
Yeah, dude, I was obsessed with those freaking funnel cakes. Across from the log ride, right there, that little shack.
Some, like, raspberry jelly or something.
Yeah,
in there.
yeah, and we just used we would just use like strawberry jelly, you know, like right out of the jar.
That's good.
Or
idea.
Grape jelly, you just throw it right on there.
That's a good idea,
dude.
With confectionate sugar.
Yeah, you have to put that on there. It's the freaking bomb, dude, and it makes you just like realize like how easy that kind of stuff is to make, and how much they must be profiting off those things, because what they sell them that now, I would think maybe like $8 for like a funnel cake.
Yeah. Hey, it's $13 churro day.
Dude, I know, and that's I've never made a churro, but you know, but the funnel cake thing, dude, that's easy. You know, it's like it's seconds.
I imagine a churro would be pretty similar.
Yeah, but you would have to have like you need to have some kind of like you would have to have some kind of I would think like a mold for it.
You'd have to have a machine to like. I don't know how they make them either, but
yeah, dude, it was fun though. Like speaking of freaking like theme parks and stuff, I went to the Horror Nights yesterday.
Oh, cool.
It was like 2 days ago, and it was like a day I worked.
Universal.
Dude,
right?
I'm never going to a theme park on a Friday again, because especially if I work that day. If I don't work that day, maybe. But Horror Nights at Universal Studios, this is one of those things where, you know, they'll have the normal Universal during the day, then they shut the park down for a few hours, and then they have the Horror Night that night. It opens up at like 7 o'clock or something.
I bet it was a nightmare just getting there. Dude,
yeah, it was like I worked that day. That was the Friday, and I worked from like 7 in the morning. You know, driving all through the traffic, get there. Then I worked till 7 at night, and then we go up to Universal Studios.
I haven't been up there
all the way up
long.
there, driving, parking. By this time, dude, I needed like to take like a 20-minute nap in the car before we got out.
Really?
I was so done. You know what I mean? I was just so done. I was so tired, and I was thinking
so
of
tired
like,
it was scary.
Dude, it was scary tired. I was, and I was thinking, you know, I'm gonna have to walk through all these mazes and like, you know, wait in line for the ride, you know, for like the Jurassic Horror or whatever it's gonna be, you know, and what is it? It's gonna be a T-Rex like roaring with a pumpkin in its mouth, you know, like something that's supposed to scare me, that's Halloween themed. And
Say a side note. I was at the gym today. Sorry to cut you off, but there's this old, like 70-year-old lady walking around with pumpkin orange hair. I'm like, whose grandma is this, dude?
Donald Trump's
she
sister.
was so out of it, walking around like. Anyways, continue.
Yeah, she probably got the color wrong or something, but
It's like, whose grandma is this?
So at this point, dude, I'm just like fried, dude. And the only thing I bought that day was a churro. Like, so by the time I'm thinking like I'm gonna take a 20-minute nap, I'm going to go in there. I'm going to go on all these things. So sure enough, we hit like a bunch of mazes. We go on a bunch of rides.
How were they? Pretty cool.
It was cool. Yeah, I mean, they did a good job. But a lot of like the coolest thing that they have is called the horror tram. So you're basically just like you're getting on the tram, and you want to get on it early because they close it at that's the first thing they close at like 11 o'clock. And they take you about halfway through the normal tram ride, and then they just act like the tram breaks down, and then you have to actually get off, and they make you walk the rest of the way.
Oh,
but
cool.
the whole thing is horror filled. So as soon as you get off, there's like all these. Like we had like Chucky dolls chasing us, and now we were with Bella's sister Oyuki, and it was her birthday, and she's like super scared of clowns and everything like that.
God.
So she's like breaking down in the corner. You know, there's like 100 Chucky dolls, and then her cousin's there. Her cousin doesn't like Freddy Krueger, and Freddy Krueger.
There's like best place.
There's like 10 of them, dude. We're walking through like the War of the Worlds set, and there's like 100 Freddy Kruegers coming out, dude, just jumping out. And
I would love to work there.
And if you know, like, if someone's in your group and you know that they gotta get scared over something, you just point them out. And those dudes that are like teenagers working at Universal, you know, they're just,
probably savages.
They're just like clicking their metal fingers, you know, like yeah, and just scaring all the girls. And
they have like metal knee pads and they slide and skid and spark them all up.
Dude, they did stuff like that. But dude, they got so graphic this year. Like we were walking through one maze, and there was just straight up a chick laying like on a bed, and there was just a guy just cutting her body in half. Like, yeah, I'm serious, dude. It was so pointless. It was like we just walked in there, and she's screaming, and you could see like the entire slit down her torso, and so clearly her actual body was like going into under the bed. You know?
Yeah.
So, but she's basically bending backward to make it look like she has these two legs, and the guy's just got a knife.
Are we?
The guy's just got a knife, and he's probably just been like there for like the last 4 hours for all the kids coming through the mazes, just cutting this poor girl in half. And he's just sawing her, and you could tell like the blood's like fake blood. It's all dried and like nothing's fresh. And
people walking by, he stops. He's like, "So Kimberly, what are you gonna be doing next weekend?"
Yeah, dude,
here they come.
You can tell, man. You can tell as the night goes on. You can really tell like who's tired. Some of them were kind of like checking out, you know, like some of the monsters are just kind of like
checking
they're walking around. Yeah, they're like flipping through their phones and everything like that. But the ending of the night, so they closed at 2. They had like this like saw off where they had about 20 Chuckies at the freaking entrance with chainsaws. And they were all just like running in a circle, and it was so weird, dude. But everyone at the entrance was like trying to get out, but there was like all these Chuckies like blocking the way. I'm Chucky, want to play? You know, it was weird, man. But we finally got out of there. And at this point, I'm just so done. You know, I'm just so tired.
Pushing people out of the way.
Yeah, man. I was so tired. And everyone's like, come on, let's go to Denny's. I'm like, dude, I'm not going to go sit down in a restaurant. You guys can. We had 2 cars, thank God. So I'm driving her back to the house, and she's got to go back to work at 6 o'clock in the morning.
Ugh.
Yeah, it's poor pobrecita. And so I'm like just looking for something on the way home. Like we looked up at an In-N-Out, but it was like closed at 1:30. So it's like we're starving. And I'm like thinking there's just nothing to eat at this time. And then so we're almost to her house, and there's like, of course, we're in Inglewood. There's like a glowing Jack in the Box in the corner, and you know there's like 2 cars, and I'm just thinking like that's what it's gonna be. You know, we're going to Jack in the Box. So like I wake her up, she was like sleeping in the passenger side, and I was like, "What do you want?" We order like these. I'm so delusional at this point. I end up getting like the double bacon ultimate cheeseburger or whatever it is from Jack in the Box.
Yeah.
And dude, I just have never felt like a fatter piece of crap, dude, in my life than after I eat that thing. And like the fries, I was like asking for like sides of ranch and like Dr. Pepper, and dude, by the time I got home, I think it was 3:30 or 4. And I slept in through the next day. I didn't get out of bed until 5 p.m. And the only reason I got up...
13 hours?
Dude, it was such a long sleep. And the sad thing is, like, at that time, you know, she worked at 6. So she had to have gone to work and got off at 2:30. So I slept through while she was working her entire shift in like an additional like 2.5 hours. And the only reason I even got up was to go watch the Triple G Canelo fight at my buddy's house out in Corona.
Jeez.
So I get up, dude, and the funny thing is, like, you know, when you're like super tired, like I still felt like kind of exhausted.
Yeah.
You know, and like my feet hurt so bad because one thing I forgot was to bring some tennis shoes. You know, so I had like my work shoes on, you know, which are like the laced up shoes and everything like that. Nothing comfortable, like a pair of Vans. You know, I needed like a pair of Vans or like some sandals.
Some Nikes or something.
Yeah, and unfortunately, like some old over the hill like 40-year-old man shoes. But
The business dress shoes.
yeah, that's what I was wearing, dude. So like my feet were just done.
Walking on wood all day.
Dude, my feet were just done, dude. I was just taxed
Your body
out.
probably needed that recovery time.
It did. It really did, dude. And
Because you're so old.
I am, dude. I'm getting older. But it was fun. Oh, the whole thing was a blast. And then the next day, of course, going and watching the Canelo fight, and it was my buddy Dan. I get up there. I haven't seen him in like, I think maybe like a year. He moved out to Corona. He became a cop and everything like that. And it was good catching up and watching the fight. Shout out to my buddy Dan. He'll probably hear it before anyone else. He's like our number one listener right now. But shout out to our boy Dan. Whoop whoop. Super cool dude. It was funny because and he was telling me about how he has started using like, he's like, yeah, man, both of my bathrooms are strapped with like these clean and clear wipes. And I was like, why? He's like, oh, bro. He goes, well, ever since I started working, he's like, I work for, has a government job and everything like that. So he's like, yeah, it's that skinny toilet paper, like that really thin toilet paper that your fingers just go right through.
Oh, you can see right through it.
Yeah, dude, and it's like
those
giant
huge rolls.
Yeah, it's huge.
You pull them and only one square rips off. You're like, God, I've been being all day.
He's like, yeah, man, I just been bringing I've been bringing these clean and clear baby wipes to work, and he goes, I wipe with those, man. It cuts like 10 minutes out of my bathroom time every day.
Wow.
And I was like, wow, yeah, exactly. I was laughing so hard.
Why?
I was like, why are you spending 10 minutes off of his bathroom time? And he's like, a half hour, go grab a smoke, you go to the bathroom, you could kill some time. It's a government job, you just kill some time, but I was laughing, dude. I was like, he's like, yeah, man, that's my cheat code right there. He goes,
cheat code.
He's calling them cheat codes, dude. And so he's like, yeah, and he's like, on the way to work, I just get in the trucker lane, you go like 7 miles per hour, and he goes, that's my cheat code, dude, when I'm on the freeway, how I just avoid all the traffic. Dude, I was rolling, man. It was hilarious, man, because it's like he was also one of those people where he has to drive like 45 to an hour to get to work.
Coming from Corona.
Yeah, and even the drive yesterday, just going out there, I think I left here at maybe 5:30 because the main event wasn't until 8, and they had a bunch of.
How long did it take you to get there? Like an hour?
Yeah, it took a little more than an hour actually.
Like an hour and a half.
Yeah, no, like an hour 15. But it was cool, like I'm used to that by now. Driving out to Santa Monica each day and.
I hate sitting in traffic. That's my one thing. I hate traffic.
Yeah.
I can drive for about an hour, and then I'm just starting to lose my patience. And if I'm sitting in bumper to bumper, I'm just losing it, dude. I'm just like, hate that.
Yeah.
Speaking of Universal Studios, dude, do you remember when we were little kids, like, I don't know how old exactly. It's when the movie Good Burger came out. That's we figure out the date. But I remember my brother went with two of our young friends, Courtney and Casey, and their dad Brian had taken us, and we went to this huge studio audience to watch where they would like play games and slime you.
Yeah,
and
they had that. They had the whole studio still at Universal Studios back in the 90s. So even where they were filming, you could actually go there and they would have the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that.
Look what year that was. What year was that? Can you see?
Dude, I'm just going to say it was probably the 90s.
Yeah.
It had to have been.
So
I actually was a very 90s
I got picked. I got picked to go on stage.
Yeah.
And they're like, you have to make an impersonation. And I was like, and you have to make an impersonation of the guy from Good Burger. And I was like, welcome to Good Burger, home of the Good Burger. How may I take your order? And then I don't know what it was. I think I might have lost or something. And they slimed me. They're like, okay, we're gonna let you know you're gonna get slimed. They're telling me backstage, you're gonna get slimed, and it's gonna be really funny. People are gonna laugh. And I'm just like, I'm like 12 years old. I'm like, all right, sure, why not? So I remember they put like a little bib on me and then just slimed the shit out of me. And dude, that slime was so disgusting. It was like consistency of like applesauce, like food coloring, just disgusting slime. And I remember they poured that huge bucket just all over me, dude. And I had like freaking my hair all spiked up. We used Ice Spiker back in the day. And I remember it just got all in my hair, and it was just disgusting. And then we left. They tried to clean me up a little bit, like in the back.
There was apple in it. I remember
there was applesauce in there.
But
for
dude,
sure.
I remember.
But dude, that shit stayed in my hair for like 3 days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, but I remember a little differently is that when they asked you to do your best impression of Ed,
Yeah.
you didn't like draw it out and do like welcome to Good. You just went And then they just said, slime him, because it was so, it was nothing. Everyone was just, that whole audience was just dead silent,
Yeah.
They've totally lost touch with Universal Studios has kind of lost touch with the live shows, I feel like, because I recently got a Universal Pass. And what they're still doing right is, the Water World stuff is cool, but you're not going to have, and there was even some weird times too with Universal. I remember they had like the Diary of Anne Frank show. That was weird.
Oh my God.
It was weird. Yeah, and I think we went with like my school to go see that and everything. But
depressing.
Yeah, it was. But then now it's like they have like these weird like dance shows, where like these guys are like, it's like almost like kind of like a Devo ripoff, where they're all wearing like different colored hats and like different colored masks. So it was really strange. Like it was almost like they were like little Zorro masks. We saw like this one, and I guess they're like a famous dance group, and they're doing like a bunch of shows all day at Universal Studios. And it was pretty lame though. Like I don't know what it was. Maybe I was just tired. But the funny thing is, why I was even more tired on Friday was like right when I woke up. So like the day before Friday, I had to deal with like a bunch of stuff with my car. So
that's the worst.
It is, dude. And not knowing like if your car is gonna be okay to like make it somewhere is just the worst.
I was dealing with that all last week with my wife's car.
Yeah. Well, what happened with her car?
Her exhaust pipe like had a crack in it, and then we had like a temp fix on it, and then we just weren't gonna get it fixed for like a while. And then the temporary like tape or whatever that was on the actual pipe came off, but the whole pipe was like cut in half. Like you can like pull it out, and the exhaust that comes from the engine. So it looked like it sounded like a choo-choo train. It was like, because the exhaust was coming out, and we went to the mechanic, and they were like, "Oh, it's gonna be like $750, and you just have to put on a new pipe." And I'm like, "It's just an EGR pipe. They're like $70 at like Cragen, and it's just all the labor." So we actually decided to take it to one of our family friend, Dwayne.
Yeah.
And
you ordered the part?
He ordered the part, and then it didn't fit.
Oh, really?
Like shit. So we had to special order it from GMC, and then it was only $80. And then he was like, "Oh, just give me like $20." He's like a tweaker. He was like, "Oh, just give me like $20 for labor," and we ended up just giving $60. So, I mean, the whole thing cost under $150.
Yeah.
And saved us. We were to pay $750 for that. So that was a freaking hookup. But that's what happened to her car last week.
Damn, dude. So, but something else happened to your truck too, right?
Oh, I just needed to get my brakes done. I let my brakes just get so bad, like that. I was driving home one day, and I had to slam on my brakes, and because Orange County is gnarly, dude. There's always somebody pulling out of a driveway or something.
Yeah.
I slammed on my brakes, and my brakes didn't actually clasp all the way. Like they didn't break. I had to pump it a couple times for it to catch.
Right.
I was like, dude, that was freaking scary. So, I was like, man, it's gonna probably be like $500, get a brake job. And then it only costed me like $40 for some new pads, and he put it on for like
Dwayne did that too?
$40. Yeah, he did it too. So it cost me
That's
like,
crazy. Driving all the way back to the old neighborhood just to have Dwayne work on your car.
Dude, it's a bummer, but it saves me money, man. So I'll save money anywhere I can.
I tried I forget what I was going to have him do. Oh, yeah. So I actually called him the other day, but it was too early for him because it was like right when I woke up for work. And the day before, I noticed like whenever I was making turns, it felt like my tires were just buckling, like they were low on air. So I go to I'm in Santa Monica. I go to the gas station, and those guys, they always have like that air pump that says $1, but legally they're supposed to give you air and water for free. So
you can just go in and tell them
turn that thing on, dude, and they'll turn it on. But I go over, and so my tires are 51,000 psi, and pounds per square inch.
Yeah.
And so I start filling up the first tire, the one that I'm feeling it like the most, and it's only got like 20 something thousand psi in it. So this thing was like a pancake, dude.
Yeah.
And so I fill it up, and it takes like almost all the time from that one turn on the air thing, and then the air thing shuts off. I'm only on the second tire, so I'm like, well, dude, I don't want to like one full tire and like a bunch of tires that are at random freaking pressures, you know, because that's how you'll get like tire wear or whatever. So I run back in there. I'm like, hey, can you turn the air back on? She's like, oh yeah, no problem. You know, she's like so lazy, you know, to like she doesn't even want to bend over and like just press a button.
Just a button.
Yeah, I'm like, dude, you fat lady, like freaking convenience store lady, you know, don't even want to press the button. But so she presses it, dude. I was freaking ruining her day. And I run back, dude, because it's like, of course they have the air and water machine like on the opposite side of the convenience store.
Yeah.
So I get back to the car. I finish the second tire. I'm on the third tire. The thing shuts off again. So I run back, and she's like, "You still need more air." I know. Hold on. You know, she turns it back on. I run back. I finish the tires. So I think I'm good at this point. You know, my tires feel like full. You know, they feel like full of air, and they're like solid and everything. So I go back home. I wake up the next morning. I walk outside, and the freaking tire on the front driver's side is just a pancake.
Oh, yeah, it's leaky. You have a little hole.
It's completely popped. So I'm thinking, like, what? I could have it towed to Dwayne. Dwayne can do a plug, you know, and then that's it, you know, because I would always get flat tires, you know, on my truck. That thing would just pick up nails and screws and everything. And I can't even see, like, the screw in this thing. You know, and I'm like wondering, and it doesn't feel like it's completely deflated. It's definitely like popped and flat. But at this point, I'm just thinking, I need to look up somewhere because Dwayne's not answering the phone. I need to find somebody that's going to just patch the tire real quick.
By the way, Dwayne was a mechanic for like 20 years, and now he works out of his garage.
Yeah, but he always has cars in that garage. Like,
Dude,
he always has
got,
a driveway.
in there, dude.
He's got a driveway just full of work.
He doesn't charge barely anything. So
yeah, but that's why awesome. That's why he wants to do so much.
He's like, pay me in meth.
Yeah, dude, he would take it too. But
no, I'm just kidding.
So Dwayne wasn't available, and so I'm hitting up like AAA, and I've found a place by now that will like plug my tire for $15.
Nice.
And so the guy comes. He's like this AAA guy. He's just all cranky right when he gets there. Like, hey, can you open the gate? And he's all frustrated. And then I think it's him when he's on the phone, but there's another AAA truck coming in. And I said, oh, you're going the wrong way. You're going the wrong way. He's like, how do you see me? How do you see me? You know, and I'm like, he's like, I'm not even in the apartment complex. I'm like, no, I just saw you turn in. He's like, I don't understand. But it was like another AAA guy coming in.
What are the odds?
Yeah, it was crazy. And then so he's like coming in off the street, and he's like, at this time, he's like all frustrated. He comes in, he sees the tires, just like, he's all disgruntled. And so
he probably had a shitty day.
And this is like first thing in the morning, and you just know like all their calls probably coming in the morning. But so he's like, so you have a flat tire. So what do you want to do? I said, well, I want to get towed to this place that patches tires. I want them to patch my tire, and then I'm good. What's the problem? And he's like, why don't I just put some air in it and you can drive over there? And I'm like, no, because what if it pops again? So why don't you just tow me over there? That's what I'm paying for, dude. And he goes, you have a donut? You have a spare? And I'm like, yeah, it's a 50-mile tire, but I got to drive out to Santa Monica, and I need to have the good tire on there. Mm-hmm. You know, I'm not going to, and at the same time, I'm not going to.
Those other ones are only good for 50 miles?
Like 50-mile tires, yeah. Huh. That's what they call them. And
it's a little Hot Wheels.
Unless it's like a full-on spare tire, that's good. But those really skinny ones, those are called 50-mile tires or 100-mile tires.
Yeah, those things are ugly.
You don't want to keep it on there, you know. But I want to keep the good tire on there, and I want to get that one patched because I'm going to have to drive out to Santa Monica, and I can't drive all the way out there on a donut. Right. You know, that's insane. So he's thinking, well, you just put the donut on there and drive on that to go to the mechanic. You know, that's gonna. And I found this place called Downey Auto Repair or whatever. And so I was like, well, I'm not gonna have you change the tire to the donut, drive it over there, have them take the donut off, patch the tire and put mine back on when I could just have it towed straight over there and they patch it and it's done. So he's frustrated because I don't want to go with his options. And I'm at this point kind of like just thinking like, you lazy POS, you know, like, come on, dude.
Did he have a truck that didn't have a tow capability on it?
No, he could tow. But so finally I'm like, look, dude, I want to get patched. I want to get the tire patched. Just tow it over there. Come on. And I was like, and I'm going to ride with you because I'm not going to, you know, it's a couple miles away. So he's like, all right. And at this time, he's like starting to like load up the car. And then like the maintenance guy comes out. His name's Octavio. And he's a nice Mexican guy. You know, he just comes over and like whenever I have like something breaks down at the apartment, he'll come like just patch it up or fix it real quick.
Yeah.
And he's like, hey, ¿cómo está? You know, and ¿cómo estás? And stuff like that. And he came over, so he's looking at the car, and he goes, that's the third time this morning. 3 tires, 3 people. And I'm thinking, like, maybe it's a coincidence. Maybe someone's going around and messing with someone's tires. But I didn't think it was somebody from the night prior, because my air was kind of going, the air in the tire was already kind of losing it the day before. And it had been for, like, that previous week. So I didn't think anyone was, like, messing with my tire. But he started, like, he messed with my head a little bit, because he goes, I was like, hey, all right, Octavio, it's good seeing you. And he looks at me and he goes, Octavio? No. And there's, like, one other maintenance guy, and I think his name's, like, Mario. And he's like, I am not Octavio. I was like, what? I've been calling you Octavio this whole time. Why didn't you tell me? And I was like, no, you told me that was your name. And I was like, no, I'm not Octavio. And then he goes, and he points, like, to the front of, like, the apartment complex out by the gate, and he goes, Octavio was over there. And then I look over there, and I don't see anybody. And I turn around, and he looks at me and goes, I'm just kidding. Because I'm messing with you. All right, man, good luck. Have a good day. So at this time, the guy,
April Fool's,
that's it.
Damn, you're high, bro.
Yeah. It was funny, though, dude. And then I think that kind of made the AAA guy laugh. And then he's like, hey, you're going to ride with me, right? And I was like, yeah, dude, I got to get a ride over there. So I hop in, and I was like, what are you guys busy this morning? You didn't want to tow me down there, did you? And I was like, I'll be honest with you. If I was working this early, I'd probably try to get out of it too. And he's like, nah, I get paid hourly, but, like, sometimes, he was like, I don't know, I just got a lot of work right now, And I was like, yeah, I understand. And he's like, so what happened? You worked out in Santa Monica? And I started telling him about work, and then somehow I was like, I'm gonna tell this story on the podcast. He's like, you have a podcast? He's like, yeah, and he's telling me, like, he listens to one for, like, football and like his soccer games and stuff like that. I was like, yeah, I got a comedy podcast with my brother, and this was, like, right after we launched the pilot.
Sure.
And so at that time, at this time, it was just the beginning.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, we got 1 or 2 episodes out, and he's like, check it out, dude. Seriously, by the time he dropped me off,
you guys were best friends.
Within the 3-mile ride, he not only was having so much fun and had subscribed to the podcast, but he completely missed the turn to the place. And he had to, like...
I don't know where I'm going,
We weren't paying attention, dude. We weren't paying attention. He goes, hey, I passed it up like a mile ago, fool. And then, because he was like...
I just want to talk to you more.
He was subscribing. Yeah, dude. He was having such a good time, dude. He was like... And then, like, when he dropped the car off at the mechanic...
He's like, subscribe. You're like, 10 and 2, bro. Come on.
He was, like, weaving in and out of the lanes. But he said, dude, he did subscribe.
Another tire, fool.
Yeah. He did subscribe. It was great.
That's so sick. Well, shout out to the homie.
Yeah, I forget his name, but he was super cool. And then when I got there, it really was, like, I don't blame him for even missing this place, because I only looked it up and called it and got a quote because it said it was, like, the best price place. So $15, I'm thinking, okay.
It's like some garage.
So, yeah, what we passed by is, like, this little yellow sign in Downey. I think it was off Lakewood. Or no, Woodruff. And it was, like, pointing into a auto garage way back there. So you had to go, we had to go down, like, a long alley. And then on the left-hand side...
a bunch of businesses in there, all...
Bunch of them.
Mechanics.
Yeah, they were, like, number A at the very end. So on the right, you have these old scrapyard, and, like... There was literally, like, a cat on top of, like, the hood of a car. It looked like something off the Sandlot, And then on the left is, like, this giant, hangar, where they're working on these cars.
Tumbleweed going by.
Yeah, it was like, you wouldn't think, like, this place was real. But we went in there, and, there's this, like, one super stressed out, like, mechanic guy. And, he was sweating so bad, dude. He was sweating so bad because it was so hot in there. And so, like, the mechanic, he drops off the car. He's like, hey, see you later. Gives me, like, a high five. And good luck with everything in the podcast, and everything. And he's like, I know where you live, too. And I was like, oh, God, Yeah. And so now I'm in this garage.
Shout out to AAA.
Shout out to AAA, man. They're the homies now. But so now I'm in this garage, and the guy's like, okay.
AAA stands
he's
for...
like, I'm
working.
Yeah, that's what it stands for. AAA is...
In the hood. Hey, you got A? A.
Hey! Triple A.
You get an A, fool. You get an A. Hey, we all get A's.
Hey, who do you work for? I work for Triple A.
Hey, you know that fool?
Hey, Ephraim was there, fool. That fool towed his car.
And Antonio and Anthony and...
freaking Ephraim. Jose.
Bunch of A names.
Charlie. Ignacio was there. Yeah, dude.
That's funny, dude.
Well, that's not even it, dude. Like, so I get there, and the guy's like, he's like by himself, and he's like the only mechanic, and he's just working on a car already. And I'm just there to like, of course, I'm like thinking, hurry up, work on my car now, work on mine,
right.
You know, and just do what I need because I need to go to work. So I drop it off. He's just working. He's like, click, click, click. I was like, hey, how you doing? I called about the tire that needs a plug. Okay, yeah, I'll get to that. So I'm like thinking like, wow, how long is this gonna take? Should I have just gone to just tires, or he's just under there. He's like, you know, monkeying around with a wrench and everything. I'm like, dude, how long is this gonna take? You know, and there's like a waiting room.
Did you ask him what the ETA was?
Where it was just like these sunburned couches. I didn't ask him. These like sunburned couches and like old Sunset magazine, you know, from like freaking 2007. You know, it's just old. Like, you know, like when you go into some old Draculated business and they have maybe like those like stands with the two kinds of candy jars that you put 25 cents in, but the candy inside
those are filthy, dude.
But the candy in them is so old, you know, so it's like
you put your quarter in there and nothing comes out.
Yeah,
you
or
shake it.
It's always they always have like old cracked M&Ms, and then on the other side old sour apple gumballs. You know, and you'll get it and it'll come out and one side will be one color and the other side will be like the original color.
All those little disgusting kids sticking their filthy booger fingers in there just like trying to get it out.
Yeah.
And they're freaking dirt underneath their fingernails and just scraping to get those disgusting gumballs out.
You don't think about that.
You put that shit in your mouth, bro.
Dude, you don't think about that. But yeah, the little metal spout, dude, the kids put their fingers in there to make sure they get every M&M out.
Yeah.
They don't just lift the little tab.
And for the same price, you can go get a wrapped one in the store.
Yeah.
They always have those in the grocery store too.
Dude, but so I saw that and I was like kind of tempted, but I was like, dude, forget about it.
Disgusting.
But then, so it was so early that like I was there when like their secretary came in and started opening up, and it's like this old Mexican lady. She comes saying, "Oh, good morning," you know, she's all super nice, and then she's like, "Would you like some coffee?" And I was like, "Yeah, I would love some coffee. I haven't had any today, and I'm already tired, you know, like dealing with all this stuff." And she comes back with like it looked like sewage water kind of. And it was like a brown color rather than like a darker black.
She like made it in the sink where they wash their hands.
Dude, I drank it and it tasted like, she goes, "Let me know if you need more sugar." And I was like, "I'll let you know." And so she goes, "Okay." She sits down and she looks at me and like smiles again, like, "Drink it." So I drank it, dude, and it tastes, no joke, like top ramen. I was like, yeah, dude. I don't know if it was like whatever they got the hot water from.
Like, I didn't.
It could have been instant coffee, whatever it was. They
it's the
mixed
cup
it
that
in.
that guy's just spitting his spit in.
Yeah, his little spit tune. Ding. Yeah, it tasted like top ramen, dude. And I don't know why, like that old chicken flavored top ramen, but it was coffee, and you could tell it was coffee too. But it needed sugar, dude. It needed a lot of sugar. Yeah, and then so the guy comes back, and he's like. And he brings the screw, and his thing was like on the inner side, close to the sidewall, but just a little far enough that it wasn't. Because if it's on the sidewall, it's like people slash your tires. Your tires are done.
Yeah.
You know, so he's like, brings back this fat screw, and he's like, it was like, you know, the hole's kind of big where it's not gonna seal on one patch. He goes, "You're gonna need two." So in my head, I'm doing the math like, "Oh, you're gonna charge me twice as much now, aren't you?" And so. He's like, I could put two in, and if it takes, you know, good. But if not, then we need to put new tires on. And I was thinking, he's going to make it not work. You know, I'm going to have to put new tires on no matter what. You know, he's just not going to want it to work. He's going to upsell me, whatever. I just had the worst luck in vehicles.
These two patches are
I have such bad luck, dude, when it comes to auto mechanics. But, so he comes back and he goes, "It took." And he's like, yeah. And he's like, "I put two patches in. There's no leaks. And it's all working." And he goes, "And you don't want a patched tire on the front of your car just for safety reasons." So he's like, "I'm going to put that one on the back." And so he goes, "I rotated all your tires so that the back ones are now in the front ones now in the back." And he goes, "So for safety issues." He goes, "But for that, I charge you the extra 10 for the rotation, but then the patch altogether 25.
Fuck it.
I was like, yeah. I was like, good enough. I'm out of here, dude. $25, good enough. Dude, I've paid more for a light bulb. You know,
yeah.
I paid more. That guy across the street, dude, like freaking, oh my God, I hate that guy. But it was like the rear tail light was out and he charged me like way too much because he said he had to go like to like far away and get like a special bulb and everything. I was like, whatever, dude. I
had to go to Cragen. It's around the corner.
I had to go to the corner, you know, put the light bulb. I had to tear the whole thing apart.
I had to pull out 4 bolts.
Yeah, dude. But so I was 25. You know, I went and got some coffee. real coffee. I dumped that other one out. I didn't want to feel bad. And just went straight to work after that. But that leading up to staying to work late, Universal Horror,
Jeez.
and then Jack in the Box at the freaking crack of dawn. And there was something even crazy, dude, about that Jack in the Box that was in Inglewood, because it's kind of in the hood.
Dude, yeah, Inglewood.
Dude, like, so we're just going through the drive-thru.
More like Inglewood.
It's like nothing I've seen. Like that hour. So even the drive-thrus.
This reminds me of that Dave Chappelle skit when he's in the limo and sees the, hey baby, what
yes,
you doing?
it's
I'm out here selling crack.
It's like that, dude.
Okay,
But
so
dude,
what happened?
So the drive-thru, when you get up there, it's like this big claw arm that comes out of the window to get the money.
What?
Yeah, dude. It's like a thing that comes out of the drive-thru window, takes the money, and it's like behind bulletproof glass. Takes the money, and then they have to
film that shit,
dude. And then they have to put the food in and send that out so you can have your fast food.
Is it like just like a drawer?
No, it's like an actual like mechanical glass and
the
arm.
claw.
Dude, it was crazy.
What?
I can't believe it's gotten to that point. They can't.
Jesus.
But here's why though, is because like, and you can't even see the person.
No way.
On the other side of the window. No. So here's why though, because all those homeless people that hang out like right there on the sidewalks, there's so many of them. You know, like they're right there. They have like trash bags. They're filthy. You know, they're screaming at each other like across the streets, like yelling, dude. Sometimes they're just walking in the middle of the street. Sometimes I've seen some crazy stuff down there. And dude, so if those windows opened up, they'd be screaming into the fast food drive-thru all night. Like, hey, let me get a burrito. Let me get a taco. Hey, come on, hook me up with something to eat. You know, so you don't want the dangers of like all these, believe it or not, homeless people, you know, or whatever. You don't know what they're carrying or what they have.
Yeah, they're all
a
bunch of crackheads.
Dude, they're all just.
I'll steal your cheeseburger.
Dude, it's sad, man. It's sad to see it, but it's so ghetto there.
Jesus.
Like, there's some parts that are just so ghetto. And, just
like,
run.
Get me out of here.
Just run down. Yeah, and I was like thinking like we could just eat it right here in the parking lot, and she's like, no way, that's insane. Even like, you know, she's like, we got to go back to the house and eat that. I was like, I'll just eat it on the drive over then, you know. And so long story short, I live to tell the tale. But yeah, Jack in the Box in Inglewood, it was off like Florence or whatever like that, dude. It's crazy. It's crazy down there, man. It's crazy, dude. Times be changing, bro. Times be changing.
Dude, I freaking ordered a breakfast burrito from this place this morning. There's a place called Donuts and Burgers.
Donuts on burgers?
Donuts and burgers. It's like something that completely doesn't go together. And
I don't know. I think it sounds pretty good.
I'm super tired this morning, bro. Like, me and Ivy stayed up pretty late last night. And I'm like, I found them on Yelp. They have pretty good stars, like 4 stars. And I was just like, a bunch of reviews. They have good breakfast burritos. I'm like, all right, cool, I'm going to order a breakfast burrito. I'm feeling super healthy. So I order it, and the most aggressive Asian lady answers the phone. She's like, hello! I'm like, hi, yeah, I wasn't ready for you. I was like, yeah, I want to order a breakfast burrito. And, like, what do you recommend? She's like, the breakfast burrito, I got the potato, the egg bacon, and the sausage, and then, like, super fast. I'm like, do you have any other options? Yeah. And she was like, no, I told you. And I was like, all right, well, wait a second. I just want to make sure what that all had inside of that breakfast burrito. And she's like, I just told you. I'm like, I just told you, asshole. Christ, you're so aggressive. Yeah. She's like, potato, egg, bacon, sausage. And
was she older or younger?
She was like 40s, Vietnamese for sure.
And she's working at Pizza Burger.
And she's working at Donuts and Burgers.
Oh, yeah, so that's why she's mad, dude.
And she was like one of the owners.
Wait, was it Donut Burger or Pizza Donut? Or what?
It was Donuts and Burgers.
Okay.
There's no pizza involved.
That's like the fair when I had like the cheeseburger, but the buns were Krispy Kreme donuts.
She was so aggro and like answering the phone. I was like, dude, I just asked you what exactly was in it. I'm sorry if I freaking offended you. Take my business elsewhere next time. Yeah. Fucking bitch.
Yeah, dude.
But I was like, God damn.
She sounds like she was upset for no reason.
Yeah. I'm like, you're the owner. Like, come on.
She didn't like potato. She didn't like the ending. She didn't like the ending to Karate Kid 2. So
yeah,
she just
dude, they're not like freaking Chick-fil-A where they just give you nothing but service, and they're like, anytime you say thank you to them, they say my pleasure, my pleasure.
Yeah, I noticed that, dude.
You noticed that?
Yeah.
Go to Chick-fil-A and just try to have them say you're welcome. They won't. They always say it's my pleasure, it's my pleasure, it's my pleasure. Pleasure, 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 pleasure.
Remember, Chick-fil-A is a step up from other fast food.
Oh, absolutely.
Not just for that reason, but the food is better.
Like, even Bruce Almighty was pleasure, 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 pleasure.
Yeah, that was the best breakfast, dude. But even That was the best breakfast, the best breakfast. Oh, but even like Chick-fil-A.
Yeah.
I feel like is up there with In-N-Out.
How many times have you gone there on a Sunday and they're closed?
To Chick-fil-A?
Yeah.
Well, they're closed every Sunday.
I know.
I mean, In-N-Out has the Bible verse on the bottom of its cup. Huh?
I wonder how much business they lose on a Sunday being closed. I mean, I get it. It's like I think it's like a Christian place or owned or something. But I don't know.
That's exactly what it is.
I wonder if I bet they lose a ton of money being closed
day
one
of rest,
day a week.
Bro. Yeah, day of rest.
Or maybe they save money because they don't have to pay all those people and I don't know.
No, they're losing money. But
they're losing money.
Yeah, but you know what? I think they probably started that tradition a long time ago.
Yeah.
And that's just kind of what sets them apart.
Yeah.
That and their sauce, right?
Did you see that McDonald's move about that?
I watched that after you recommended it, and I loved it. It's called the Startup, or no.
Shit, can't think of it. It's fuck, dude.
It's about the McDonald brothers.
It's the guy that started McDonald's. He started selling all the shake machines.
The founders.
Founder. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, that was a really good movie.
It was
good.
Dude,
I watched it twice.
Yeah, I think I saw part of it before, and then I watched it the whole way through, and it was a good movie, dude.
That's just the epitome of being a hustler.
I felt
and not
bad,
taking no
dude.
for an answer.
I kind of did feel bad for the McDonald brothers, but especially like the big guy.
Yeah.
Was like having like heart attacks and stuff, and it just made what's his name from McDonald's? Who's the guy that
Ray Kroc?
Yeah, Ray Kroc. They didn't necessarily paint him in the best light. Like him and his wife, he's like, just don't give her anything, give her the house and that's it, but nothing to do with McDonald's. And even like down to the golden arches, which weren't really his idea.
Right.
But where you have to give him credit is that he did something that not a lot of people were willing to do, which was franchise the thing. And I guess they had tried, but they kind of gave up on it because of quality control issues or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And I think without Ray Kroc, McDonald's would never be a thing. It would have been a one-off,
mm-hmm.
like the two brothers wanted. But he really had this vision, and it even shows like him trying to get the loans, to get the franchise going, and then he ends up having to put a mortgage against his house, just to get the money to do it. And he really believed in it.
Yeah.
And but he was willing to cut corners that the McDonald brothers weren't. Like with the shake machines, like we don't need to use real fruit and everything like that and milk. We could just use like this powdered stuff, and no one will ever know.
Right.
So it wasn't his baby, so he was kind of okay with, cutting corners and the cost, but a lot of the science behind McDonald's and like the order of operations on how they cook and when they flip burgers and the whole setup, that all goes to those McDonald brothers, dude.
Yeah.
And whether or not they really did get a cut out of the end, I think they got like, what, $1.2 or $1.8 million.
Right.
And then they shook on it, like, how stupid are you to shake with Ray Kroc, sell the franchise, and basically hand over McDonald's and the Golden Arches?
It's $1 billion now, like.
Yeah, dude, like that's so sad, that they did that, and apparently like that he never paid up on it or whatever. Yeah, so I kind of felt for him, but I think at the same time, I think Ray Kroc was probably putting more heart into it.
Yeah. Towards
the end.
The other guy just saw the bigger picture.
He just saw, Ray Kroc saw the bigger picture, but dog eat dog, the McDonald brothers got freaking the tail end of the whole deal, if you will.
Dude, I used to work at In-N-Out when I was younger, and I kind of remember how that whole quality is, I was like 16 or 17, but just kind of seeing everything from the back end, from them cutting produce in the morning to, like, by the time you go through the drive-through, it's chances that your potatoes have been skinned, peeled, chopped, put through the fryer, and like served to you during that whole time. I remember just working there. You start in the back room, so you start peeling potatoes. It's pretty cool how they peel the potatoes. Actually, there's this huge bin, almost like picture like the round part inside of a washing machine, right?
Yeah.
Where you put your clothes. But all the sides have like these little grooves in them, basically, which peel the potato when they start spinning it. You put all these potatoes in there. You put water in there, or like there's water spraying in there, and then you close the lid and you turn it on. And these potatoes they're all flipping around, and it peels it while they're all spinning around.
Yeah.
It takes like 5 minutes or so, And then after that, you take up all those and you put them all into big buckets of water. They sit in the water. And then you wheel those. Well, I worked in a drive-through lane, so you had to go like take them, wheel them into the inside of the stand, and then you put them all like in the bottom, and then you put them all like on this big metal counter essentially, and then you're hand peeling them. You're putting picture like remember those things that they would crush cans? You put the thing and it crushes the can, you pull it down. Yeah. So it's like that, but for potatoes, and it has this like little rib thing. It's where you stick the potato in, pull it down with your hand, and that chops the whole potato.
Yeah. So that just that cuts them up, but it doesn't peel it, right?
No, the thing that I was telling you about earlier.
Yeah, that peels it.
That peels it.
And
cleans them, and then they're in the water. You take them inside. And then you're just popping them in there and just pop, and you're just all day, boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
And then you have all these fries on the bottom, and there's a sink right next to you. You just scoot them all into the sink. And then they take them from the sink, and they just take like big bowls of them, and they put them in the fryer from there.
Dang, dude.
Yeah, dude. And then they fry them up.
That's a lot of fries.
Everything's on timers. And then they pull them out, put them a little salt. And then that bad boy is in your mouth in a couple minutes. In-N-Out fries are not good after they're cold.
You used to bring home like those big greasy bags of fries.
We used to go through the drive-thru even on our days off, and the homies would be working in there, and they'd just fill up a full bag of fries.
Yeah, they're good, dude.
They're so good.
I don't know. Like, I don't know if those are the best fast food fries. Like, there's some like McDonald's fries are really bomb.
And so they give you like a 10-minute break, and you get to have like a number one essentially. I learned to eat so fast because, dude, if you got to take a shit or something, you got to eat your burger, eat your fries, go use the restroom, and then you're back on your shift. So that place taught me how to eat super fast, and still to this day, I'm just like, and then I'm done eating. My wife's like, slow down,
dude. Well, when I eat In-N-Out, I eat fast anyway because usually I'm so hungry by the time.
It's so hot.
Yeah, it's so good though. You know, like, and you get like you ask for the spreads and you just throw down that on that with the fries, dude.
We had that on the other night.
Like, put that on the burger straight on there, and just like throw down some fries on the burger, and you're just like,
get that bad boy animal
dude.
Style.
But you eat it so fast because it's so good, you know. So
the quality is always like perfect.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And if you don't have a good quality burger, they messed up, you just call the number on the receipt, and they'll send you a gift card in the mail.
Do they?
Yeah.
So you can eat the whole thing and then tell them, hey, it wasn't that good.
Yeah, the burger was a little bit soft, or it didn't have what I wanted on it. You know, I got home and it wasn't good.
How often can you get away with that?
Dude, my wife's a complainer. She does it a couple times in a year.
Really?
Yeah, and they always will just... They make so much freaking money. What's the gift card? Nothing.
Yeah.
You know, a $5 gift card. They'll send you two, you know, for one or two.
Yeah, I remember when we were kids, we used to call around to. We would be like at scout camp, and I remember like our buddy Andrew was like the first one with his cell phone, and we used to call fast food places, and start off with like a complaint, really simple, like, yeah, I found a gnat on my. It was in the Krispy Kreme glaze.
Yeah.
And then we would like take turns on the phone, and we would Google like different like fast food, like Jack in the Box or, you know, McDonald's, and we would see who could have the most ridiculous thing found in their food, but that would have food offered to them if they can show the receipt when we took it back. So it turned into like, it went from like a gnat to like, you know, I found like a fingernail in like my hamburger, you know, and I remember.
Dude, do you remember being super young and Dad found a Band-Aid in like an Entenmann's donut sealed box?
No.
Yeah.
It was like in the donut.
It was just inside of them with all the donuts.
Oh, that's nasty.
So disgusting.
That's like something you would see at like a water park, you know, just floating in the lazy river, like some Band-Aid.
But in the sealed donut box, like,
yeah.
how does that pass through?
Somewhere in the manufacturing process, somebody had
somebody's sweaty Band-Aid just fell off their finger.
Fell off, dude, and Mr. Van Camp sealed that thing up, dude, and
good
now,
to go.
Yeah, congratulations.
How did a packer how do you miss that? I don't know.
Because, well, there's not. You gotta remember, dude. Like Entenmann's is huge, so
there probably comes in a huge box full of all the other boxes.
Yeah, there's not like one guy pasting, you know, the sticky stuff on each box, closing it and sealing it.
It's all machines.
And like really just looking at that box, like, yeah, that's a good box of donuts. Like, you know, like you've seen like on like cable and stuff where they have, you know, those food plants, you know, and you can see like the boxes flying through those machines, like foo, 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 they're probably making just hundreds of thousands of them, dude. You know,
Yeah.
every day.
True.
So they're flying through so quickly, and you can't really pick up on a Band-Aid, you know, or it could have just been.
Or it just like fell through the cracks on something and landed on a conveyor belt, shoved in with all these disgusting donuts.
But he probably, knowing Dad, I mean, he probably just took that Band-Aid, threw it over his right shoulder, and started eating the donut.
No,
dude.
I think he called the corporate and like got some free.
I found a Band-Aid inside my.
Found a Band-Aid, bloody Band-Aid.
Oh, dude, that's so nasty,
dude. Speaking of finding things, my wife's gonna hate me for this, but dude, do you find your lady's hair everywhere?
Dude, yeah.
Dude,
in the shower,
I find my wife's hair everywhere. It's like she's like
like the weirdest spots.
she's like shedding, dude. But dude, I find it in the weirdest places. The weirdest place I find it is in the crack of my ass.
Dude, I've had that happen.
You pull it out
because it's on your bed.
Tickles you like woo.
Dude, that's because it's like on your bed. It's everywhere. It's like
it's in your bed. You know,
all your clothes
rolling around in it.
Dude, I find hair in the weirdest spots, dude. Like the other day, I found a long like clump of hair on top of the freaking heater. Like
in the heater?
Like on top of the heater unit.
Oh wow!
I was like, how did hair get up there, dude? Like, you know? And I was like, what the heck, dude? But yeah, dude, their hair ends up everywhere, dude. If I vacuum or even if I just, it doesn't matter. If I have one of those like sticky rollers, you know, that are like it's made to get the lint off of your freaking shoe.
Yeah.
You know, or not your shoe. It's meant to get like the lint off of your like carpet or your shirt.
Sure.
Or anything like that. And every freaking time, dude, if I just run it across the carpet real quick, dude, it'll pick up like 20 long brown hairs.
Yeah.
You know, and I'll just be like, oh my God, dude. So if I vacuum, dude, or if I do laundry, it's always like a big thing of lint and just like a bunch of hair included. You know, that
dude, I'll
that
find
comes with it.
I'll find like when I'm cleaning the house, like I'll be sweeping up the bathroom, the kitchen, and I'll have
like multiplying.
I'll have enough hair that if I got it all together, I could weave like a little small rug.
Yeah, it's just like a little.
It's funny.
A little love note they leave behind. You know,
Exactly.
Say, don't forget about me.
Dude, married life is freaking hilarious, dude. Just last night, my wife and I are just talking about farts.
That's hot.
Dude, the best thing is to do is when you're laying in bed. I had gas, dude. I was eating pizza and wings yesterday, like a fat ass and beer. But best thing to do, dude, is you're laying in bed with the covers and you just fart, right? And then you just lift up one of your legs just a little bit, and then you put it back down, so it just creates like a little small wave of air, and it comes up right up at your face.
That's nasty,
just like
dog. Dude,
she's like, oh, you stink like shit.
Yeah, but if you think back to the beginning of marriage, you know, like for you guys,
yeah,
you, know, you would try to hide that probably.
Totally, I'd go in the other room.
Try to hide those farts, dude. Now you're just like trying to like freaking siphon it under the blanket so it goes right up in her face.
Yeah.
Have you Dutch ovened her?
What is that?
Or like
you pull it over her face?
You pull the blankets over her head and then lock her in there.
Or the worst is like you fart and your fan's on, and then it like kind of goes away, and then just blows it right back into your face. You're like, oh.
I've definitely had that happen.
Or when you fart in the shower, and it's like all that steam, dude, just blows it right back up into your face, and it's just like hot ass in your face.
Or you try to you try to think it's a silent one, and then you let it out, and it's all loud, like.
You're like, oh, that was a little shit. Hold on.
Dude, that's nasty, dude.
That's so gross.
Dude, you know what else stinks, though, dude? My freaking, I saw you got, new rainbow sandals.
Yeah.
And I don't know what happened, man, but, because I love these sandals.
Because I had one pair, and then I bought a new pair. Then I went to a music festival, like a pool party, and I set them down, and then I didn't know, I think somebody picked them up. So I had to buy another pair.
You got Jack for your rainbows. Yeah, dude.
That wasn't very nice.
They're nice sandals, dude. But
they're $52.
Yeah, I don't know what happened, man. But I tried to clean them too with soap. But
your rainbows?
Yeah.
Is that why they're so brown?
Yeah, I think once they get wet, that happens.
I think when they get too wet. Did you buy them like my color, like that super tan, or were they darker?
Yeah, I think they come like that.
Because they do sell some darker ones too.
Those are the ones I have are
I love rainbows.
The double decker, like two layer thick.
They're 2-ply, like toilet paper.
They're comfortable, but I mean they worn down. I thought that they were like one of those. I thought they were like JanSport, where they give you like a lifetime warranty.
There is some sort of warranty I've heard on them. I think if you rip some part of it rips out or something, and I think they'll give you like new sandals or something. But dude, I wore my other ones to the ground, dude. Like, they're like,
they were
my
thin.
toes just all dug in, and like it started cracking where my toe was.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
dude, I don't know what happened. Like, I remember I was like watching. I was in that theater the other day, and I just like was sitting there, and I had like this like smell of like old cheese. Like felt like it was like coming into my nose, and I'm like, dude, what is that? Like, I'm good about keeping all my clothes clean, but like you never think about that, like your shoes or your sandals like causing you like distress, dude, you know, while you're watching a movie, and the smell like starts popping up, dude. And I realized like I let it go that night, like I didn't know what it was, and then like I think I was at work and I was wearing sandals one day, like a casual Friday or something, and this like smell, it comes back. I'm like, is that my sandals? And I just take one sandal off my foot, and I smell it, and I'm like, dang, dude, like there's some like serious smells that are locked in these sandals. So I like fill up my bathtub with hot water, and I just dunk the sandals in there, just trying to kill whatever's attached to these things, some kind of, you know, some kind of bacteria that's on them that's causing a smell. And I soak them with like Dove and with like hot water, and I'm like scrubbing them, and all this dirt's coming off of them. But it just hasn't killed the smell that's attached to it. And so I'm thinking like, dude, I just need to throw those sandals away and the smell that's attached to them and just start fresh with some new ones, dude.
Do it.
Yeah, that happens.
It's funny you said that, because I've had to get rid of a couple pairs of shoes lately that are starting to fucking stink.
Yeah, it's like you can't get rid of it. It's just it's time.
I shot them with Odor Be Gone, put a little Tinactin in there or whatever, like just to get it like to stop smelling, and I couldn't get rid of it. So like my gym shoes, I had them replaced in like a year, and I was just sitting on the couch one time, and I was like, oh shoot. Yeah. Like your shoes will stink after a while, but these are like gnarly. So I threw those away, got some new ones.
That would happen in gym shoes.
Same with my business shoes too. My business shoes.
You got all that sweat rolling down your legs through your socks and into your shoe. That's of course gonna stink after a while.
And then I'm on my feet all day, so I'm walking around all day. Like I have a stand-up desk at work.
Yeah.
And so I'm always on my feet. So it's my feet are pretty stinky by the end of the day. But the cool thing is,
they don't give you a chair.
You have a chair, but I have a wireless headset and a stand-up desk.
They don't motivate you to sit down, huh?
No, you can, but it's I kind of like it, dude. I feel like when in sales, if you're sitting down, you're slouching your chair, you're just like, yeah, so do you guys want to buy this? But when you're standing up, you just sound better. Like, okay, you have more energy.
Is it like one of those offices where they have?
It's like Wolf of Wall Street.
They have like the signs on the wall that say like, "Give every sale your best."
Yeah, yeah.
And like some guy in a power suit, like walking.
Dude, I sell coaching for a living, so it's all positive.
Yeah,
everything's positive. Each morning they start off with a meeting, clapping on everybody's numbers. Afterwards, you role play with somebody, so they're like throwing objections at you, and you got to handle that objection. So you're all fired up. So by the time you're getting on the phones, you're not like waking up having to get 9 cups of coffee before you talk to somebody. You're like boom, boom, boom. You're ready to go. Like the energy's high.
Yeah.
And
it works.
And it works. Yeah. And you're standing up. You're walking around the office. The wireless headset. So it's a really fun environment.
So you can actually walk all the way out to outside, or
yeah, you
it's
can.
Just whatever works for you.
Dude, I'll walk to the bathroom that's like outside of the office, and I've had to take a pee while I was talking to somebody. And I went and took a piss in the urinal just really quick. And I'm like, sorry if it echoes in here. I'm in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Like, oh, it's okay. I was just going to drink water.
Yeah, let me get a...
and I'm just taking a piss, looking at the next guy at the urinal while I'm saying my pitch.
Yeah, he's on his headset too. You guys are high-fiving each other.
You're like, oh, talking to some idiot in Minnesota.
That's cool. So, yeah. I mean, so some of the sales, they'll last like... beyond like your scheduled time, so you can actually end up staying there all night, right? Just working.
No, they kick everybody out at 4.
Oh, really?
Like on the dot. They're like, get out of here, clock out. But that's like really the only sales office I've ever been in when they do that.
Yeah, because I remember you telling me about like those like guys in Westminster that just work until like 3 a.m. and they're just
like some sales environments they encourage you to stay later. This one's just like you're in at 7, you're out at 4.
Why though?
I don't know.
I would think maybe they just...
Overtime's pretty expensive, I'm sure.
No sales out there.
They don't want people probably lingering around. They want everybody out.
I would think that a lot of sales would come after that time. Like when
some
people
dude.
are out of work.
I've had to cut a couple calls short. I've actually stayed late before, like 30 minutes later, trying to get a sale.
And they'll approve that, or you have to ask?
Yeah, sometimes. I mean, you can't really just cut someone off in the middle. But, I mean, typically, like, for one call, for me, will be at least an hour. So I usually go on 3 or 4
if it sticks, right? Like, because usually there's a lot of people that will hang up.
If I can feel that it's not going anywhere, I'll just cut it, and just, like, say whatever I have to say, and then just be like, all right, let's reschedule this meeting for tomorrow or for another day, and just kind of go from there.
And don't you have, like, a lot of people, like, when you reschedule, they, like, feel guilty, like they have to take the call?
Sometimes.
They're just like, okay, yeah.
Or they don't show.
Huh?
Or they just don't even show up to the meeting.
Like,
just calling them, you're texting them, they don't pick up.
Yeah, they don't care. They're just like, whatever, dude. They don't want to tell you on that first call that, hey, I'm not interested, don't call back.
Some people can't say no. It's hard for them.
Yeah, but then they would rather just reschedule it and then hope you don't call, right?
Mm-hmm. Or you reschedule and you call and they just don't answer. Oh, I'm sorry, dude, I was out on an appointment.
Yeah, are you in a meeting right now?
Sorry, man, I can't talk. Like, dude, I've been calling you for 3 freaking days. What's going on?
Yeah.
Just tell me no.
Yeah, because you have to know, or can you kind of end it if you wanted to?
Yeah. I mean, if it's a good thing, like if it's a good appointment, they'll pick up. If they're truly interested in what you're selling, they'll pick up.
That's cool, dude. I mean, that's interesting, though, dude. I remember we used to have, like, these crazy sale pitches when we were kids, dude. We would like, sell candy, and we would come up with, like, insane pricing.
Dude, that's the hustler in us. That's when we first started selling.
We would come up with, like really cool pricing, It's like, yeah, you get a little piece of licorice or an Airhead for $0.25, you get 5 for $1, bro.
Dude, we sold Airheads, sour apple candies that were covered in caramel. My bread and butter was I would sell those long rope licorice.
Yeah, the sour belts.
Ones. Oh, those were
so
good.
And you made a lot of money on those because those little tubs would come with hundreds of pieces of licorice.
Yeah. You could charge like $1 for like 5 or 10 or something.
Yeah, so like 10 cents a pop.
I'm already eating all of my profits.
Dude, we would go to the liquor store.
From school. Freaking, we can do it at the liquor store, but you'd be walking home, and I had cargo shorts back in the day.
Lots of quarters.
And I'd just be walking all the way home, dude.
Everybody's got a quarter, dude.
Everyone's got a quarter.
Back in high school, everyone's got a couple quarters, man.
Look it up, bro.
Yeah, what can you do? But you could sell, like, a lot of the kids would have, like, at least maybe $5 on them, between $1 and $5.
Mm-hmm.
And they weren't trying to buy some, like, nutritious meal, dude. They wanted to get, like, 10 pieces of licorice for $1.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're the buddy, maybe you'll throw in a bonus piece, dude, or 2. But you'd still be making mad profits because those tubs of candies that we would buy, like a freaking tub of sour belt licorice, would be $8, $9.
Yeah, from Smart and Final.
We would get all the candy from Smart and Final.
Yeah.
Fart and Smile.
Yeah.
And dude, like even with the Airhead, 72 in there, you divide that by 25 cents a pop.
So good, man.
Yeah.
I had one the other day.
An Airhead?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember. Well, they
I would get like the ends of them and like go like this, like side to side. You can't really see what I'm doing, but then it would like make them all squeeze to the middle, to they're like almost like a little ball.
Yeah.
And I would open it up and just put the whole thing in my mouth.
Dude, I used to get like the berry Skittles and smash them together and make it look like an everlasting gobstopper, like from like Willy Wonka and shit.
Hell yeah,
dude. Yeah, but it was fun.
Do you remember in elementary getting those 25-cent bags of chips and then put them in the microwave?
Yeah, and they would shrink.
And they would shrink, and they were like a tiny little bag.
Yeah, dude.
And they're hard.
Yeah,
that's so funny.
But you would have to eat the chips out.
Yeah, of course.
But you just get that like Frito-Lay bag.
It's like sparking in the thing. You're like, oh,
yeah.
Shrinking.
I don't know the science behind that, but it would shrink it down to like the size.
And you can see the word still.
It was as big as it was probably as like the same margins as like a marshmallow.
Yeah.
Like an inch by an inch or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And
that's so funny. I remember that.
Dude, I know, but it would spark in the microwave. It would shoot a bunch of sparks out as it was shrinking.
It's so dangerous.
I wonder if it really was dangerous or not really, because it was, but we would do it. We would just watch it. And the kids at school would like tell you about it, stuff like that.
I remember I remember a girl that sold them back in the day. She just
really?
sold a bunch of those little tiny
Rhonda?
bags. Yeah.
Was it Rhonda?
Yeah,
I remember her. She was strange, dude.
Strange.
Like she had that PlayStation, so kids would go and want to hang out at her
She was
house.
able to fart on cue.
Yeah, you just walk up to her and say, Rhonda,
can you fart?
She's like, okay.
God, that chick was weird.
There was a lot of dangerous stuff, though, that I remember the kids in elementary school would tell you about. Like, I remember this one where they would say, okay, close your eyes. And then, count like backwards from whatever, and they'd be like, they rub the temples on your head, and then you like take deep breaths and you like hyperventilate. I forget the process to it, but they would make you hyperventilate and faint right out there on the field. Yeah, dude. It was this crazy thing, and I remember we took that with us to scouts. Like, we're like, okay, now count backwards, take a deep breath. All right, now bend this way, and then just do this or that. And then, I remember...
You just kick them in the balls when they're...
Yeah, dude, or you knee them or whatever, and it would make you faint, and, like, just fall into the ground. And I remember I actually did it, and I, like, fainted at a scout meeting once.
No way.
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, it was crazy. We used to do a bunch of weird shit that was, like, freaking damaging, but...
That's awesome.
Have you seen anything new at the theaters lately?
No, man. I haven't been in the movies in a while.
I went and saw that movie, It, the clown movie.
How was it?
It was good.
Was it lit?
It was good, dude. Like, I actually had the DVD that Joseph gave me. Like, I think back in maybe like
scary movies though.
5 or 10 years ago. The original one wasn't really scary, and it was kind of stupid. Like, I always thought it was like okay, but you got to remember it's like a Stephen King novel, and like at the end,
it's like a clown, right?
Yeah, it's a clown. He's like living in the sewer. And he's like feeding off of kids' fears. And I saw it twice. Once with my girlfriend, once with my buddies. And I actually enjoyed it the first time, but I fell asleep at the very end. So I kind of had a reason to watch it again the second time. But the movie overall was like, the actors were 100 times better than the original. And a lot of people will debate that because it's like, okay, well, you had...
it did really
Tim
well
Curry.
in the box office.
Yeah, Tim Curry playing the clown, which is the guy from... You'll know him from like Home Alone 2 who goes, a limousine and a pizza. You know that weird looking guy?
Oh, yeah, that guy.
That's the guy who played the clown.
Oh, wow.
In the original It. And even he said, like in an interview, and, he's like Stephen Hawking, where he's like in a chair now, he can barely move. And he's not typing his words out or anything like that, but he's like, he's got a British accent. And he says, the original movie was not very scary. And he's like, at the very end, I turn into a spider. It just wasn't very convincing. And he said that basically he liked the new one. And there's even been like interviews with Stephen King saying he really liked it. So overall, I think the movie was better than the original. I don't know if it's better than the book because I've never read it. But what they did differently with the new It is that they're going to cut it in a couple pieces. So it's a couple parts. In the original movie, they try to cram it all into one movie. So it's this 3-hour, 4-hour clown movie. And it's just way too long for a horror film. Because who has the patience for that? Like 3 hours into a horror movie. It's like, no, let's just get this over.
Let's wrap this shit up.
Some movies, like horror movies are not supposed to drag on. You're supposed to just get to the point, knock it out of the park. But they're going to cut this movie in a few pieces, which is acceptable. You could only take horror, I think most people, in chunks. You can't watch like 3 hours of a guy getting.
You can take people out in chunks.
Yeah, literally. Hey, and like look at the Saw movies. Like they understand that, so they release like a Saw movie every couple of years, but it's only like an hour and a half. It's not like they had to tell. If they tried to tell that whole story about that old man and his life, dude, like that, we'd be here for all day, dude, watching Saw, like the Chronicle, dude. It'd be ridiculous. Or The Matrix.
Hey,
imagine if they tried to knock
one movie already.
Imagine if they try to knock out The Matrix in one movie. Not that that's a horror, but that's just not going to happen.
Yeah.
So anyway, it was good. I really enjoyed it. I think I mentioned earlier in like an earlier podcast how it didn't do so well in like horror movies anymore, but it wasn't so bad. And a lot of the actors in it were super funny. So it was more of like, I think in the old one, it's when it's like when they're adults. So in this one, it's when they were kids.
Oh, okay.
So, but they use like a lot of the kids from like all like the new movies and like the main kid from Stranger Things. I don't know if you've seen that.
Stranger Things is a great series.
Yeah, so he's in it. The main kid, the brother.
Yeah.
He's in it, and so overall,
the kid with the hair.
Dude, yeah, the kid with the hair and the face. I would recommend it. Go watch it, dude. Go check it out. Ivy will like it. She likes scary movies, right? You're the one who doesn't like the scary movies.
Not big scary.
Yeah, but anyway, dude.
Scares me.
I think that's going to bring us to a wrap for tonight.
Absolutely.
We're going to close down the shop here.
We're going to close it up now.
Got to finally have a chance to kind of clean up everything. I got to hang up a poster of like Arnold Schwarzenegger. My buddies gave it to me.
Where'd you get that?
It was a super late birthday gift actually from Jack.
Oh, sick. Nice.
Yeah, dude,
job,
I'm trying to get more things on the walls here. Everything's kind of blank and white, and I was like, you know what, I need to get some decorations. Yeah, there's hair everywhere. So now I got a picture of it. And then like the same week, I got a big, giant, one-of-a-kind painting of David Bowie.
Nice.
That
that
my
painting,
girlfriend's
yeah.
sister Jackie, she drew it.
That's sick, dude.
Yeah, man. It was actually I asked her if she could draw a or no. So we were going to pick up her sister. So basically, I picked up Jackie, and then we're gonna go pick up Isabel. We're gonna surprise her at work and say, "Oh, we're gonna take you to the movie." Jackie has this like wrapped up, like what looks like a frame, and she's like, "Yeah, we have, since we're surprising her to go to the movie. I drew like a painting, and we're gonna surprise her with this like gift too." And I was like, "Oh, what'd you paint?" And she's like, "Oh, blah 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 blah." And I was like, "All right, cool." So we're on the way over to her work to pick her up. Isabel comes out, she pops up, and then we're like, me and Jackie are like surprised, but then it quickly turns on me because they're like, Isabel like knew we were coming somehow, and I realized Jackie told her, and she had all these pastries from her work, and then Jackie hands me the wrapped up frame. She goes, "This is actually for you." So they reversed the surprise on me. So we were still gonna go watch it and everything, but I open it up and it's like this super cool painting of David Bowie, like back in his like Ziggy Stardust days. Maybe we'll throw up a picture on the Facebook or something like that.
Yeah,
so
it's good work.
Our viewers could check it out. But yeah, it is good work, dude. So we're slowly filling up the walls here. So I got the Terminator poster, the David Bowie. I got the
picture of LA.
The LA landscape art, which is pretty cool. It's like a canvas, and some family photos. So
heck yeah.
Now we got to get a podcast photo up. Maybe we can print out the jacuzzi picture or something.
Yeah. Absolutely.
But anyway, all right, guys. Peace be with you.
Thanks for tuning in, guys.
God bless America. And don't forget to subscribe.
See you guys. Love you.
Don't forget to subscribe. Subscribe, fools. Subscribe.